Sydney, Australia. Everyone knows about kangaroos and koalas, but there are lots of other smaller creatures here that are often overlooked. Two Australians, Densey, Clyne and Jim Frazier, have been exploring the jungle on their own doorstep. Like every garden in the world, this one has its own quota of wildlife. Many species of birds feed and nest in the trees and bushes. A bird table brings them close to the house. Against the distant roar of city traffic, bird calls fill the garden. Densey Clyne has been studying the less obvious inhabitants of her garden, living out their lives, heedless of property titles or boundary lines, are miniature monsters. A few tiny creatures attract attention by their strange actions. Most, however, are camouflaged almost to the point of invisibility. This is a bush cricket. Not bark, but a sap-sucking bug. Disguised as part of a leaf, a looper caterpillar. This leafhopper looks like a node on the stem. During the day, moths can imitate broken twigs or bark. Case moth caterpillars build portable camouflage shelters. Adult dung beetles rely on armor, but their young are soft and need protection. This dung beetle has found a pellet from a possum on the garden path. She'll bury it in soil nearby and lay an egg on it. The young will then grow up in safety with plenty of food. Everything in this tiny world is geared towards survival and successful reproduction. This beetle has an unusual defense mechanism. From the tip of its body, it fires a cloud of acrid vapor directly at its enemy. In this case, a large funnel web spider. In order to see what happens, we'll stop the action, go back and take another look, frame by frame. And there's the cloud. The beetle's defense is successful and it escapes unharmed. Keen senses and quick reactions can get you out of a lot of trouble, but some predators have highly specialized methods of ambushing their prey. Dinopsis, the net-casting spider, weaves herself a sort of fisherman's net with silk. Using her legs alternately, she combs the silk from her spinning organs. And when each thread is the right length, she attaches it to the main body of the net. Once the net is completed, Dinopsis grasps the four corners and tests the elasticity by stretching it. She'll stretch the net like this when she drops onto her victim, but first she makes a series of tests to check her hold on the net. The spider, aware that a cockroach is approaching, waits for the moment to pounce. By reaching out with one of her legs, she's able to judge the distance to her prey. The cockroach struggles, but Dinopsis injects her poison, and it's all over. Like the spider, the albino snail catches and eats live prey, but it also eats its near relations. The introduced garden snail is included in the diet, and even at a snail's pace, the encounter is likely to be a brief one. Normally, predatory snails use their mouth parts to rasp away at their victim, which suffers a slow death. But this one seems to be using a more direct technique of killing its prey before eating it. The predatory snail makes short work of its victim and leaves only an empty shell behind. The praying mantis occurs throughout the warmer regions of the world. Its front legs are armed with rows of vicious spines that close on the prey with a vice-like grip. And once the victim comes within range, she seldom, if ever, misses. Stealthy assassin bugs stalk other garden insects and stab them with deadly accuracy. The assassin's bug's sharp beak is not only a weapon, it's also a sucking tube. Once the prey is immobilized, the bug sucks out the contents of its body. A young insect's first concern is to eat, but this baby grasshopper also needs to avoid being eaten. But this caterpillar was not so lucky. And even assassin bugs themselves can sometimes become the prey of other predators. Leopard slugs arrived as accidental migrants from the Northern Hemisphere. All slugs are hermaphrodites. Each one is both male and female. So right from the start, theirs is a love story with a difference. It begins with one slug following another up a tree, where, at a suitable height, they start to move around in circles. They do this for an hour or more, during which time they lay down masses of mucus to provide an anchor for an aerial trapeze act. The slug's mating organs emerge and twist together to form a complex structure that continually changes in shape. Here, in midair, the essential two-way exchange of sperms takes place. After mating, one of the slugs always drops to the ground. The other always climbs back up to the tree to take the long route home. When bush crickets mate, the male keeps his position by grasping the female's ovipositor with his feet. Like many male insects, this one produces a spermatophore, a neat little purse which contains the sperms. Once in position between the male and the female, sperms move from it into the female's body. The spermatophore is made of a jelly-like protein, and after mating, the female finds nourishment in what's left of it. It's common knowledge that at mating time, male praying mantises tend to lose their heads. This is a male that approached the female in the wrong way. Praying can do him no good now, and in any case, his front legs are rapidly disappearing. Because of this tendency to cannibalism in female mantises, the males must try a variety of different approaches. And it's an exercise that requires extreme caution. His strategy paid off, and he'll survive just as long as he keeps his embrace tight. A persistent male beetle climbs onto the back of his mate and stays there as long as she will let him. Butterflies mate tail to tail, resting quietly together. Many bugs use the same position but move about actively. Large stick insects occasionally come down from the tall trees in the garden, blown by the wind or perhaps looking for something to eat. This male has found a female. Undeceived by her camouflage, he tries to mate with her, but gets hold of the wrong end of the stick. He tries again, this time successfully. Cleanliness and care of sense organs is as important in a world full of hazards as concealment of eggs. Blue triangle butterflies lay them under laurel leaves and, for extra safety, only one or perhaps two at a time. As the summer days lengthen, new generations develop in the garden. In this miniature world, lives are brief. For us, a day is not of much consequence. Seasons repeat themselves year after year. But for most of these insects, there is only one summer. The insect that lays these beautifully arranged stalked eggs is a lacewing called nymphes. Lacewings are liked by the gardener because they eat the soft-bodied pests that damage his plants. In the Australian outback, these eggs would normally be laid in shallow caves, but in the garden they're placed on the fence or under the eaves of the house. The stalks are covered with sticky droplets to keep away predators. Most of the insects do their egg-laying at night, but sawflies do their work in the sunshine, concealing the eggs between the two surfaces of a fragile leaf. Lit from behind, you can see the saw-like egg-laying organ of the female sawfly. It penetrates the leaf tissues and deposits the eggs one at a time. The tiny organ is a mere 3 millimeters long, and the leaf itself only a few cells in thickness. The egg blister turns red, but does no apparent harm to the plant. Here it's been opened up to show the eggs. The praying mantis encloses her eggs in a protective capsule made of a foam-like substance that forms a firm mould around the eggs as they're laid. When the egg case dries and hardens, it's impregnable from the outside to all but the most powerful predators. Young insects, which broadly speaking resemble their parents, as these young mantis do, are called nymphs. Bush crickets also start life as nymphs, gradually increasing in size through a series of molts, for the outer cuticle of an insect is too rigid to allow the expansion of a growing body inside it. This one is molting for the last time, to emerge as an adult with fully fledged wings and sexual organs. The process is a long and involved one, in which each and every part of the insect, including the delicate antennae, has to be pulled out of the old skin. For this, the insect uses the finger-like mouthparts called labial palps. For a short period after molting, the new skin is soft enough to expand. Only then can the insect increase in size, as this one is already doing. But being soft, it's vulnerable at this time. Blood rushes into the wings, inflating them until the cuticle hardens. And to tidy up, the old skin is eaten. For between 4 and 5 years, the nymph of the cicada has been eating and growing underground. But now, on a warm November evening, it climbs a tree in this garden for its final molt. As an adult, it will live a mere 2 to 3 weeks. By flexing its muscles and taking in a lot of air, it splits the tough cuticle. It emerges into a strange new world as a winged adult cicada whose sole task will be to reproduce. After several weeks devoted to munching leaves, the caterpillar of the blue triangle butterfly is casting off its last larval skin to become a chrysalis or pupa, the quiescent stage during which the process of metamorphosis takes place. And now a new insect will emerge, different in appearance, physiology and behavior to the caterpillar that gave rise to it. The adult butterfly, ragged and wet, will clamber out and hang under a leaf to dry in the warm Sydney air. Then it will fly off to join the host of other insects and bugs that together make up this garden jungle. These Australian miracles are small scale, it's true, but they are surely miracles nonetheless. And in that at least, they are not extraordinary. You can see similar dramas in every garden in the world, if you care to look.